because I'm staying with a breaking news story here coming in from Sydney. What we are going to do during the Newshour debate, which is starting a little late tonight because we've been on the breaking news story, is that we are going to keep going back between what's happening at that Sydney cafe and our debate. Thank you very much for joining us and for waiting. Nalin Kohli of the BJP, Pawan Verma of the JDU, Ajay Kumar of the Congress, Gaurav Bhati of the Samajwadi Party, and Shahid Siddiqui, Chief Editor of Nai Dunya, who's been a Rajya Sabha Member of Parliament in the past. I'll go back to the pictures for a minute because I want to do a quick recap. We are now being told, I want to give 4 or 5 very quick updates. The Indian hostage, who was an Infosys employee, has been safely evacuated. All of the country has been praying for him, as also for every single person who has been held inside that cafe. There was shooting. We don't know what the exact situation are. There are no reports of casualties. The father of the Infosys employee is confirming that his son is safe. And many hostages were seen to be fleeing from that cafe after a loud bang was heard. The man's name is Haron Monis. Ironically, he was granted political asylum in Australia. An Iranian refugee. Let's begin the debate. Pawan Verma, the charge against India's politicians is they allow something like this. They put us on the edge of vulnerability each and every time. Does this make you realize that your own approach, perhaps that of your party, that of other political parties, like the Congress party, like the Samajwadi Party, vis-a-vis terrorism is flawed? Now you need to really rethink yourself out of the boxed-in political situations, the political language which you use to describe terrorism, the Hindu-Muslim trapping that you give it, the vote bank politics you weave around it, how you use these issues to push your own agenda, even at the risk of compromising national security. Does this Sydney attack, which has happened today, make you feel you've got it all wrong and need to change your position? I'd like to start with you, Pawan Verma, and then after that, it's an open debate. Mr. Verma.
Arnab, first of all, terrorism has no religion, it has no particular color, and we need a policy of zero tolerance against it. India is particularly vulnerable, as you said in your opening comments. We have terrorism exported from abroad, we have homegrown terrorism, we have a very long vulnerable coastline, and we are right next to and part of the epicenter of terrorism located in Pakistan, in Afghanistan, and today now there is a new threat.
Sir,
of
can you
the
please,
extreme wing
sir,
of the
can you
ISIS.
please, can I just request you, sir, to begin by accepting that your approach has been flawed? Political parties like you have used terrorism for political advantage. You've given it a Hindu-Muslim trapping all the time. I'm being very specific. You give it a Hindu-Muslim trapping. You give it a religious trapping. That's why we can't have the kind of crackdown which makes us vulnerable. Why don't you address that issue, Mr. Verma? Let's begin the debate. I mean, we don't want homilies tonight. Maybe an acceptance of the situation will be a more practical approach after what has happened in Sydney.
I don't see, Arnab, from where you are pulling out
I hope and pray today that parties like yours would be on the right side of the fight against terror, because you say what examples do you need in this country?
I think
no, sir, this is not to provoke a debate. This is not to provoke a debate.
The wrong horse,
sir. It's not to provoke a debate.
Don't flog the wrong horse,
sir. It's not. No, sir, I have not.
On the wrong side,
sir, I have not. I'm asking you.
Let me complete.
Sir, why don't you accept? Why don't you accept that the Samajwadi Party, for example, has been defending the Simi? They have been defending the Simi. That the Congress party, for example, said Indian Mujahideen is a figment of our imagination.
There is a spokesman of the Samajwadi Party who will give his own version.
Sir,
you ask me and allow me to quickly answer.
No. Sir, I'm questioning political correctness.
I want to say to you, yes, I agree that terrorism should not be politicized. And I want to say to you,
sir,
we don't yet have the center to counter terrorism. The IB, the RAW, the Defense Intelligence Agency, the NetGrid, the NIA are woefully short of...
Sir, I think you're not addressing the real issue.
And the right equipment.
No, sir, you're not addressing the real issue.
And I'm saying to you...
No.
And now I'll come to the political
May I begin the debate, sir?
Let's
hear the other side.
So long as we continue to incite religious hatred and break up society, we will be even more vulnerable.
Sir, that is all. These are all homilies. Let's open the debate. Why don't you address the facts? Why doesn't Gaurav...
Why do you see them as homilies?
Well, because the one thing that stops our country from a crackdown on terrorists are politicians who look at it in Hindu-Muslim ways. That's all they look at it as. They look upon terrorism as an opportunity
Those who do,
sir,
ask them that question.
Nalin Kohli.
Those who stereotype entire communities and nurture the form of extremism on every side.
Sir, please be realistic. Shahid Siddiqui is coming in.
Because you were referring to
Shahid Siddiqui,
the politicians may have done, the people of India have always been united at any terrorist attack. Hindus, Muslims, Christians, Sikhs, we have all come together at every incident in the last 20 years. And Indian people have never allowed these people to divide us. So we have been able to fight terrorism in last 20 years because the people of this country...
So what makes you feel we have been able to successfully fight terrorism? What makes you feel? Even after what has happened in Sydney, you're going to say that? Sir, no, what makes you feel?
What makes you feel is that India has been the main target. India has been the main target of terrorism, global terrorism, the neighborhood terrorism, the internal terrorism, and we have successfully fought it. We have not allowed it to jeopardize.
I don't know why you are giving yourself any credit.
Economy, and our people and our society.
I don't know why you are giving yourself any credit. You shouldn't be giving any. You know, all kinds of wrong information is planted.
All the credit to the people of this country. Arnab, in spite of we media trying to divide, and politicians trying to divide, it is the people of this country who have kept the country and the society united.
Sir, this is, it's very good rhetoric. First of all, let's take specific examples out here. Let me take everybody in. All that the political parties do is that you have compromised our country in the fight against terrorism. It is clear and apparent to everyone. And after Sydney also today, you are continuing to do it. I'd like to get Nalin Kohli into the debate. Nalin Kohli, there was a time when political parties in India were racing with each other to say the Indian Mujahideen does not exist. This was also a fact. I want to know how many of you who are on air today can say that was not done in our country. Yes, Nalin Kohli.
No, it was done. It was done. Or, even referring to Osama bin Laden as Osama ji. Let's stop for a minute. We are a country where removal of the only anti-terrorism law that we ever had, which was POTA, Prevention of Terrorism Activities, was removed as an election issue. Now let's stop for a minute. Hindu, Muslim, Christian, anyone, they are human beings and Indians. So their security is supreme. Now, yes, have laws been misused? So as even a murder has been misused in terms of the IPC. So will you throw out the IPC? The question is that if it is incorrectly used, and I'm saying it bluntly on the screen, if a normal Muslim boy was incorrectly incarcerated, you have to find the solution that it never happens again. But are you going to throw the law out just because of a political tool? So what has happened in the past is there in front of everyone. But can we risk the future? Because it's not the 100 incidents that the terrorists will try. We have to worry about that single one incident that the terrorists may succeed and cause havoc to ordinary Indians. That's what it matters. And there can't be a compromise anymore. You can't call infiltration of immigrants just because it's a vote bank. You have to recognize that they are aliens to the Indian soil, find solutions, but you can't just look at it as a Hindu-Muslim this. So if you are looking at, for example, tensions in communities, even terrorist incidents that succeed are not going to bring harmony. There will be great examples of Indians who will come at that point together, stand together, irrespective of every division that there may be.
Why?
But there will also be repercussions.
Why would you? No. 1 sec. Why would? First of all, why would political parties not accept tonight, especially parties like the Samajwadi Party or the Congress, that they have been hypocritical in their approach and contributed probably to the growth of the terror industry in our own soil?
This is not fair that you don't come to me, but you take my party's name 3 times and you condemn the party.
Well, I've only
opportunity. You were saying the Samajwadi Party. The Samajwadi Party is. I don't think this is not correct on your part. When you are taking my party's name, the first thing you should do is you should turn to me and wait for my response.
Well, I'm sorry, Mr. Gaurav Bhatia. If you are 1 minute, first of all, let me get a couple of things straight. Gaurav Bhatia, if you are under any misapprehension, if you are under many misapprehension that you will dictate the editorial agenda of the Newshour for any reason, you will not. No, first of all, you can't dictate my editorial agenda. Don't try to. Don't try to. Secondly, don't try to censor me. Thirdly, I will come to you, but don't get into an outrage. The Samajwadi Party can certainly be questioned for its absolute hypocrisy in this matter.
Try to do politics over terrorism.
Mr. Gaurav Bhatia, that's a fine one coming from a party that specializes. You specialize in politics over terrorism. You specialize in politics over terrorism, Mr. Bhatia. You specialize in it.
Samajwadi Party and
you specialize in it. Do you want me to give you examples?
Politics over terrorism only if you allow me to speak.
Mr. Bhatia, do you specialize? Do you or do you not specialize in using terrorism to galvanize vote banks? Issues regarding terrorism to galvanize vote banks. Do you or do you not do that?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Well, of course you do. You want examples of it? You want examples of it? Did you or did you not repeat it? No, 1 second. Hear me, Mr. Bhatia. Hear me, Mr. Bhatia. You don't listen to others. Mr. Bhatia, let me give you one example. No, one simple example. Please hear me, Mr. Bhatia.
Don't trivialize.
Mr. Bhatia, neither do I trivialize, but you need to listen for a while. Did you or did you not repeatedly defend the banned organization, Students Islamic Movement of India, calling for a revoking of the ban on Simi? Did you or did you not do that? Did you or did you not ask for the revocation of the ban on Simi? Did you or did you not do that?
There were reasons.
There were reasons. Did you use the Batla House encounter for political purposes?
I'm telling you the stand of
Did you use the Batla House encounter for political purposes?
The Samajwadi Party did not politicize the Batla House. We only said what was surfacing
Mr. Bhatia,
that it might be a false encounter. And the media was showing that.
You don't forget hold a mirror to what you've done, Mr. Bhatia. You really realize where you've gone wrong.
We had no first-hand information.
Mr. Bhatia, you even tried to withdraw
now let me make my point.
No, Mr. Bhatia, please, I can't give you all the time on the world on the program. You've really made your point. I'm now going across to Ajay Kumar. Ajay Kumar, no, 1 second.
When did you give me time, Arnav?
Mr. Bhatia, you do not have a right to take all the time on the program. Why are you?
Don't invite me on the show.
Mr. Bhatia, first of all, I'll make a couple of things. I'll make a couple of things very clear. If your condition is
civilizing the debate, I am quiet now.
Mr. Bhatia, you are free.
This is absolutely ridiculous, Arnav. This is ridiculous that you don't allow me to speak. Mr. Bhatia, I'm quiet now. You can have your discussion. Thank you.
No, first of all, let me make one thing clear, Mr. Bhatia. I don't think you're behaving appropriately. If you're under any misapprehension that others should not be allowed to even take part in the program, I'm not going to let you walk away with it. There are other panelists. You have to be democratic as well. And when others are speaking, Mr. Bhatia, you must listen. Mr. Bhatia, when others are speaking, you must listen.
This is a far more serious discussion than the way you are discussing.
I don't need a certificate from you, Gaurav Bhatia, on what is a serious and a non-serious way of handling a discussion. Let me please. Yes, please. Please hear the other side as well.
Discuss the issue with others.
Mr. Bhatia, I have been in this profession for much longer than you have been in politics. Don't try and teach me the basics of journalism. I'd now like to move on. I will not listen to it from you.
Doesn't make any difference.
GD Bakshi.
If what I'm saying is right, it will stay right.
Fine, Mr. Bhatia. Hear the others, please also. Let's get other points of view into the debate. Ajay Kumar, Nalin Kohli, it's an open debate. Feel free to come in. But before that, GD Bakshi joins in. Ajay Kumar.
Yeah, I just wanted a point. I just
okay, Nalin Kohli.
Only, and that's, non-partisan. You remember in Patna, when the bomb blasts were taking place and Modi ji was addressing, I didn't see that kind of thing that you would have said. Here is a person, you may disagree with him politically, you may oppose him politically, but if a prime ministerial candidate's rally is seeing bombs blast, you can't in any way not take it seriously. So what I'm trying to say is it not a wake-up time now? Whatever be our political differences, for India's sake, Indians' sake, let us strengthen ourselves. We'll fight out our political differences, there's just no harm in that. But we need to be clear about what we need to do to protect India.
Nalinji, what you are saying, I wanted to say the same thing, that all political parties will come together to fight terrorism, and we stand united on that front.
Sir, the Congress
as being painted by Arnab right.
Sir, you know what? It hurts. No, Ajay, I'm coming to you, but it hurts when I put a mirror to the positions taken by every political party. Would you not juxtapose the pictures of what is happening in Sydney today? What's happening in Sydney today? We are hearing reports of 2 hostages being killed, though the Indian has been safely evacuated. Would we not ask the hypocritical positions that our parties take? Again, Mr. Bhatia, you're not letting others come in. Have we not ridiculed?
For your information,
can we get a moment to speak?
Can Ajay Kumar say something, Gaurav Bhatia, or is he also censored? No, let me ask Gaurav Bhatia. Gaurav Bhatia, is anybody else besides you allowed to take part in the program?
Hello.
Because Ajay Kumar has not even spoken yet.
Arnab, you can give my time to other panelists.
No, I don't want to give your time. You are under the impression that Samajwadi Party owns all the time on the program. Yes, please.
Arnab, can I get
Pawan, yes, please, Ajay Kumar.
I don't. But I think if you invite me, you should give me some time to speak.
I think the viewer is judging. Yes, please, Ajay Kumar.
Yeah, Arnab, first of all, if you can give me uninterrupted only 2 minutes. I totally agree with you that, all political parties should come on a single platform. Like you said, instances when somebody said that Mujahideen is a figment of imagination is wrong. But the issue is when Bharatiya Janata Party takes the quota as an example, that's also unfortunate because, it's not a Muslim-Hindu issue at all. The number of children, number of people from Jharkhand who were arrested under quota was more than Jammu and Kashmir. The issue is the question, we need political parties to form a stringent rule. But it doesn't mean that when you make a rule, that all and sundry get arrested and then you say, no, it is a Hindu-Muslim issue at all. In fact, if you look at the data of quota, Mr. Advani himself said that it was a mistake if you look at the way it was implemented. So that is the problem. Nobody is saying there should be a stringent
if I were to agree with you, Ajay,
let me complete.
Ajay, if I were to agree with you, I have one counter question. If I were to agree with you, can you please tell me why in any country, politician after politician line up and compete with each other to say that the Indian Mujahideen does not exist? A. B. Indian Mujahideen is a figment of our imagination. C. A union minister says, 1 minute, if you're saying we don't look at a Hindu-Muslim angle, why does a union minister say that Muslims in India don't believe the Indian Mujahideen exists? Tell me why does this happen in our country?
So I agree with you. So one thing is, very often when we speak out of context, or and on the.
It's not out of context. Politicians are not innocent.
No.
Politicians are not innocent, Ajay. Politicians do it knowingly.
I'm not going to debate on this channel on the necessity of a strong terrorist law.
No, I'm not talking about a law. I'm talking about a change of attitude, Ajay. And by the way, the link is bad with you. So I'm going to have to improve the link and come back to you. GD Bakshi, please. GD Bakshi. Okay, Pawan Verma, the debate is very much open, but I'd like to go to GD Bakshi first. GD Bakshi, has the fight against terrorism been held hostage to vote bank politics or not?
Arnab, it is extremely unfortunate that in our country, the entire counter-terrorism struggle has gotten located in this Hindu-Muslim divide kind of a polarized atmosphere simply because of our politicians who have tried to create a sense of victimhood and then exploit it absolutely shamelessly to their own very personal ends of vote bank politics, of trying to stay in power by any means, by exploiting a sense of victimhood, creating it in the first place. I'm afraid the law goes where the evidence goes. The law does not recognize whether you are Hindu, you are Muslim, you are Sikh, you are Christian or anyone. If the evidence points towards you and I'm the law officer there, I'm supposed to arrest even my own
But
father.
Mr. Bakshi,
So where is this question of why a particular...
well, Mr. Bakshi, because tonight, I'll tell you why. Because tonight, Pawan Verma, Ajay Kumar, and Gaurav Bhatia refused to accept that the fight against terrorism in India has been given a religious trapping. None of them accept it. It's as simple as that. I wish they were more honest tonight to themselves. I wish even Shahid Siddiqui had been more honest on this subject.
Why do you leave out the BJP, Arnab, if I may ask you?
Arnab, no, I am absolutely honest, and let me tell you that I believe that on both sides, terrorism has been used as a political instrument.
No, but why did you not
fighting terrorism? We have used it for, sometimes we use victimization, this idea of victimization of minorities or of a majority for political gains. Terrorism is terrorism. It has to be fought professionally.
No, who has used it? No, let me ask you. Let me ask you.
Part of even our intelligence agencies.
Sir, let me ask you. Sir, let me. You've been in the Samajwadi Party. Have you?
Instead of denouncing each other, we have to come together.
Sir, I don't want lectures.
And let me tell you,
I don't want lectures. Sir, I don't want lectures.
Indian Mujahideen was.
So these are lectures.
Can I also make my point?
Gaurav Bhatia, these are but lectures. These are but lectures.
As well.
Gaurav Bhatia, these are, Shahid Siddiqui, these are but lectures. Yes, General Bakshi,
what can one do on a channel?
It's an open debate.
One cannot pick up a gun on a channel. One can only give a lecture on a channel.
Well, surely you can, but then you can accept. But you can accept, and Gaurav Bhatia, just a minute, you can accept. Why don't
what do you expect?
Why
discussion and debate.
Why don't you accept that yes, we do religion-based politics around issues of terrorism? Simple.
You also talk.
No, why don't you accept that, Shahid Siddiqui, that when you were in the Samajwadi Party, you were also among those who took a position on the Batla House encounter?
Goswami, let me tell you, in 1991, I spoke against the Kashmiri terrorism, and 5 organizations put their price on my head. And I never got down to them. I just didn't talk.
Examples.
I fought them.
Okay,
I fought the Kashmiri terrorists. So, my paper was banned in Kashmir in 1991. There is a record because Y plus security was given to me, and I never bothered about security myself.
GD Bakshi.
So
I'm going to.
We have done nothing. We have been fighting this terrorism, and we'll fight this terrorism.
Since I'm the only soldier on this panel, I think I have a right to be heard.
No, we are all soldiers, Bakshi Sahab, against terrorism, we are all soldiers. We all Indians are soldiers against terrorism. Terrorism is not fought on the frontiers. Terrorism is fought in every gully, every mohalla, every village.
मेरी भी सुन लीजिए
आप ये ज्यादा फौजी वाली बात मत कीजिए हम सब फौजी हैं we all want to fight
क्यों ना करो
don't be holier than everyone else
10,000 फौजी हमारे मरे क्यों ना करूं मैं उन शहीदों की
अरे हिंदुस्तानी मर रहे हैं बहुत कश्मीर में भी मर रहे हैं बाकी जगह मर रहे हैं
हाँ तो फिर वो सिपाही हैं
so let's come together the फौजी and the common people let's come together and fight
Arnab, can I please talk?
Go ahead, I'm not stopping you.
Arnab, yes, I was saying that the armed forces, the security forces have systematically been demonized and demoralized in this country, especially in the previous dispensation. There were comments made to the effect that every encounter should be treated as a fake encounter unless proved otherwise. We have heard this on channels. Don't deny this. There has been a systematic program, to use human rights as a tool to demoralize and systematically demonize the armed forces, the security forces, the police, to tie them hands and foot. Do I have to remind you of the Batala encounter? Do I have to remind you of what was said? That this is a false encounter and every encounter should be treated as a false encounter.
And we are
this is the extent to which we have gone.
No, we are the only country. We are also the only country in the world. Pawan Verma, Gaurav Bhatia, please realize we are the only country in the world where lots of politicians actually make out a case for terror groups. We are the only country in the world in which a minister speaks about the non-existence of a terror group. We are the only country in the world when there is a terror attack outside, when there's a blast outside one party office, some other political party says this is a blast which has been carried out by the political party and refuse to accept the possibility of a terror threat. We are the only country in the world, Pawan Verma, which does all this. We are the only country in the world which openly politicizes the issue of terrorism. Name one other, Pawan Verma. Name one other country in the world, Pawan Verma, Gaurav Bhatia, I ask you tonight, name one other country in the world which such a threat of terrorism which openly politicizes it. And why am I discussing this tonight, Pawan Verma? Not to just score a point, but maybe I thought the Sydney cafe attack would make you wake up and not put out the same old arguments again and again. Maybe it should be a moment of reflection.
No, what are you saying? What arguments have I put out? You invent arguments that your panelists have not made.
Which argument is invented? No, which argument is invented, Pawan Verma?
You reduced it to hysteria.
Which argument is invented? Pawan Verma, which argument is invented?
If you want to listen sanely, allow your panelists to speak.
But Pawan Verma, tell me which argument is invented?
Very simply put, nobody contests the fact that terrorism needs to be fought strongly in this country. Nobody contests the fact that terrorism should not get a religious hue to it. Nobody contests the fact that we are ill-prepared for it. I also want to add the point, since you are talking so much of politics, this atmosphere that we have seen in the past few weeks, creating non-existent boundaries of religious hatred in our country, do you think it's conducive to fighting terrorism in our country? People are being set against each other, one inflammatory statement every day. Religious polarization is being followed as a matter of policy. An already vulnerable country is being made into a timber box, a nurturing ground for terrorists of extreme wings on both sides of the spectrum. Why don't you ask this question?
I will, but since you have made, I will, but Pawan Verma, one second. Pawan Verma, let me take you head on and ask you a counter question. Well, let me ask you a counter question. You say today, this is hysteria. I'm asking you tonight, let me ask you a counter question. When I ask the straight questions, 1 minute, Pawan Verma, you don't like it. You want me to give you examples? I will give you many examples.
I have not liked or disliked
Mr. Pawan Verma, when there was...
I don't want to get into a...
No, Mr. Pawan Verma, accept the reality.
Match with you.
Mr. Pawan Verma, I am not interested in a slanging match with you either. But I will certainly ask you. But
I am not getting into a slanging match with you,
Mr. Verma, have you or have you not?
Please ask me a straightforward question.
I am asking you a straightforward question, as straightforward as can be.
Yes.
And while I certainly have questions for the other side, I expect you to be honest and sincere in your response to my question. Did you or did you not politicize? Did you not politicize the arrest of Muslim youth by the Karnataka police in relation to the 2010 serial blast in Bangalore? Yes or no?
In what way did we politicize it?
You want me to give you examples? Your member of parliament demanded action against the Home Ministry. Now you ask me a counter question, let me answer you. The Janata Dal raised the issue in parliament. Member of parliament, you can ask him, Shivanand Tiwari, said, I want action against the home ministries. I want action against the agencies responsible. Which side were you? Why were you making that point? Does this strengthen the fight against terrorism in India? Second example, Pawan Verma.
We should never question. Just now expect an answer also. Or should I continue to hear you only?
No, Mr. Verma.
So we should never question any act taken by the
Did I say that? Did I say that, or did I give you a specific example? Did I say that, or did I give you a specific example?
We should not question. We should not question the Sohrabuddin encounter.
Okay, counters coming in from Nalin Kohli or GD Bakshi, please. I think GD Bakshi. No, I'm giving you examples. Okay, Nalin Kohli is asking a counter.
Endorsing acts of the state.
No, 1 second. Nalin Kohli's counter to Pawan Verma, please. Nalin Kohli.